A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to NTA UGC NET Paper 1 preparation, wherein we have a live class from Monday to Saturday. And presently we are doing higher education system as the unit, wherein we are conducting the crash course MCQ series. And this is the second cycle. The first cycle is already completed. All the links of the first cycle are there in the description box. You can check the same. And for higher education system, second cycle, this is the fourth lecture. Now let's start the session for the day. So what exactly do we have at Global Online? So Global Online conducts a paper 1 course, wherein right now we are doing the crash course, and the new batch for the crash course is going to be scheduled from 13th of June 2022. What do we have to offer in this paper 1 courses? So we have daily live lectures which are conducted. At the same time, we have notes on all the topics, that is revision notes. You can also call it as PDF notes, last 10 year question papers with answer key, which will help you to understand, what are the correct answers and how to really, how to get the idea about the questions so that you can get through this. We also have test series, which consist of more than 2,500 MCQs, and it will give you an intense practice for your upcoming examination. You can get this on Global Online app, as well as you can ping us on the given WhatsApp number. In case if you're using the Global Online app, or if you want to, enroll for the same, you can go to the Google Play Store. You can, type Global Online. You will get, you have to register yourself with the mobile number with an OTP. And once you enter, you will get this type of interface. So once you are purchasing the course, your interface will be, this, wherein you can go to the content part. In content, you will see folders as per the units. Every folder consists of theory classes, MCQ lectures, notes, mock test and evaluation test. Wherein evaluation test we conduct on daily basis to give you a practice for your upcoming examination. Today also, after the lecture, you can go and attempt evaluation test, that is HES 007. This is the code, and through this code you will understand, okay, this is the test for higher education system. Apart from this, we also have paper 2 notes and MCQs available. On the notes and MCQs, which the subjects for the same is given below. So you can check whether this is any of the subjects from this is a part of your paper 2. And in case if you're interested, you can get in touch with us on the given WhatsApp number. The fees for the same is 1,500. Okay. So now let's start the session for the day. Now, as today's session, we are into the fourth session of MCQ series, but I felt somewhere, the revision of higher education needs a little bit of, more intense practice. So I have brought some questions which we have done earlier also, and some new questions are there. But these questions should definitely, be given importance. The students need to revise this unit very well, because most of the time it is seen that this unit is left by the students at the end, and there are more factual things in this. So if you decide that at the end you can cope up, it becomes a little bit difficult. So please ensure that there is a alternate day revision for this particular unit. So you have total questions, that is 5 questions from this unit. Total number of marks allotted are 10. So ideally each question carries 2 marks. Syllabus for the same is, institutions of higher education, learning and education in ancient India, where yesterday's class I have taken 2 questions, but students were not able to answer. So you should be, giving a focus for this. Evolution of higher education or learning and research in post-independence. Then you have Oriental, conventional and non-conventional. We did this yesterday. Today also I have taken these questions. Professional, technical and skill-based education, then we have value and environmental education, and also you have policies, governance and administration. So this is basically a syllabus of your paper 1 higher education system unit. Now let's start the session and let's understand it very well. So all the best to everyone. At end, do not forget to put the score, because I'll come to know that revision I have done. So how amount of revision has impacted your studies and how well you're doing. So do not forget to post your scores after the completion of the session. So first question is talking about the enrollment is higher in India. So it is talking about enrollment of higher education in India, which is contributed by both formal as well as distance education. So the distance and formal both has contributed to higher education. So what is the contribution which is seen by distance education? So what amount of contribution is reflected by distance education. So yes, you have the answers as 50% of formal, 25% of formal, 10% of formal, or you have distance education, which is not taken into account. So you have to, speak about it. So basically, what you need to find it is that in the higher education system, that is higher education, which is contributes formal and distance, but they are asking you exclusively what is the contribution of distance. So I'm just waiting for the answers. Let the answers comes, and let us see how many of you are able to answer it very correctly. So yes, so let's check the answer, what exactly it is. So the total number of contribution which is given by distance education is just a second. Yes, so it is basically the option number B, that is 25% of formal system. So that was the right answer over here. So option number 2, so higher education contribution of formal and distance togetherly, but in that the contribution of distance is 25% of formal. Okay, now we have let's understand. So your distance enrollment constitutes about 11.1% of the total enrollment in higher education. So individually the contribution of distance education is 11.1, out of which 44.5 are female students. So this is female students. So you can just imagine like what is the status now of higher education in total. Fine, let's go to question number 2 now. Which of the following statements are correct about NAAC? So the statements given about NAAC is an assessment body, as you all know. We have done this, but still a quick revision. It is an autonomous body. It is responsible for assessing and accrediting institutions of higher education. It is located at Delhi and has regional offices. So which of the following statements are correct when it comes to NAAC? So whether it is an autonomous body, whether it is responsible for assessing and accrediting institutions, whether it is located at Delhi or has regional offices. So option number A, B, C, D, which codes of the given options are correct? Okay, so you can go with the odd man out. Now this topic many times we have done, so you should basically very clear about this topic. So let's see. Yes, which code is that? Is option number A, that is an autonomous body, and option number B, it is responsible for assessing and accrediting institutions. So option A and B are the right option. C and D are odd man out. They are not any, there is no contribution of location and regional offices from the given options for the given question. So the right answer turns to be what? The right answer turns to be option number A and option number B. And in that sense, our code 2 is the correct form. Now, let's quickly have a look at the details about NAAC. So the the full form is the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAAC, which conducts assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions, that is HEI, such as, the colleges, universities, and other recognized institutions, understanding the quality of status of the institutions. NAAC evaluates the institutions for the standard quality in terms of, the performance related to the education, the curriculum, the teaching learning process, the faculty, the research infrastructure. So these are the various parameters in which evaluation takes place. NAAC has fivefold vision. So let's see what's that. So it has a periodic assessment and accreditation. The quality of teaching, learning, and research is taken care. Self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy, innovation, research studies, consulting and training programs, as well as stakeholder collaboration is, the more important thing which has to be taken into consideration. The criteria, if you want to exclusively go for criteria, this can also be a question. It consists of curricular aspects, teaching and learning evaluation, research consultancy and extensions, infrastructure and learning sources, student support, progression, governance, leadership, management, and institutional values and best practices. So this constitute of what? Various criteria of NAAC. Let's go to the next question now. Next question we have on the screen is, okay, sorry, before the next question, yes. There is a small additional information I have added. The NAAC, I mean to say the grades by the NAAC and their CGPA. So if it is A++, it is between 3.5 to 4.4. If it is A plus, 3.26 to 3.50. Then if it is A, 3.01 to 3.25. Okay. Then we have 2.76 to 3. It is basically B plus plus. Okay. Then it is 2.51 to 2.75. That is B plus. Okay. We also have that is 2 to 2.50. That is B. Okay. And now we have 1.51 to 2. That is C, and less than that will be D, which is considered as the body which is not accredited. Okay. Now we have question number 3 on screen. So I hope this is little bit of revision of NAAC. Also, we can have any question on the grades or the pointers. You should be able to answer the criteria. Also, you should be able to answer. So let's go for question number 3 now. Which of the following statements are correct when it comes to distance education in India? So when we are talking about distance education in India, which of the following statements stands to be correct? The first one is it supplements formal education. It reduces the cost of education, it replaces the formal education, and it enhances the access to education. So we are talking about what? We are talking about formal education. And in formal education, we have, the following characteristics, you can say, or attributes are listed. So let's check out. It supplements the formal education, code A. It reduces the cost, code B. It replaces the formal education, C, and it enhances the access to education. So which of them? In such statements, I have told you many a times in any of the unit, no such big lengthy questions which codes when are a part of your question paper, always try to ensure that you are putting an elimination method of answering such questions. So the answer will be, I have given you a lot of time so that you can just let me know the correct answer for the given question. So yes, let's check how many of you are right. So very good. That is question number, that is your question 3. In question 3, the statements which are correct about the distance education are like, for example, option number A, that yes, it supplements. Option number B, yes, it reduces the cost. And option number D, that it enhances the access to education. Now, please remember, we know this, irrespective of whatever happens, there cannot be definitely a replacement for your formal education. That also is very, very important to keep in mind. Maybe in any other question, in any other format, it can come, but you should, you should keep this option in mind always very well, that this cannot be, we have already studied this. So you have to remember this very well. Okay. So this, we have completed our question number 3. Let's go to question number 4. So which of the following, we have done this, as I said, some questions I have purposely added as in revision, just to check out your preparation. So which of the following organization deals with the capacity building program on educational planning? Educational planning, it basically talks about what? It talks about educational planning, and which is that? So whether it is NCERT, whether it is UGC, whether it is your NUPA, or whether it is your NAAC. So which of them is called as the organization that deals with capacity building program on educational planning? Okay. So yes, giving a chance to everyone to, waiting so that everyone can answer and we can move ahead. And a very easy question. In fact, you don't have to, especially take so much time for this question. And yes, the right answer is NUPA. That is, we have studied very well that anything, and this I have told in the one of the class also. In fact, yesterday, day before yesterday's lecture itself, I have told they have this planning and capacity building as a keyword for NUPA. So you should be remember very well for this particular term. Okay. Is it clear? Now, we in yesterday or day before yesterday class, we have done the year also, and we have done the function also. So CIET, that is CIET, stands for what? Is it stands for Center for Integrated, Education? Is it stands for Center for Integrated Education and Technology? Is it stands for Center for Institute for Engineering and Technology? Or it is Central Institute for Technology and Education? Or it is Integrated Evaluation Techniques? So what does it stands for? So option number A, B, C, D. Which is the correct option from the below? If you want, you can once again read it carefully, all the options and come with the correct answer so that you know very well. And I have told you such bodies and all those things, you have to remember them very well. One question on this comes definitely. Okay. So yes, let's check out how many of you are, correct with this. Yes. So Central Institute for that is for Education and Technology is the right answer. Now we have studied this very well, that Central Institute of Education and Technology. Basically, it is, sorry, one mistake it's happened. It is off. Okay. So it is not Central Institute of Educational Technology. It is like that. Okay. Which was started in the or established in the year 1984. Okay. And basically it has, it has contributed in the field of education via development and dissemination of learning in promotion of education through technology. So that is the main aim of this particular institute. So we have done the year, we have done the full form, and we have also known the functions. Okay. Now, still I have added some information for your understanding also. So let's see. So Central Institute of Educational Technology, a unit of NCERT, which came into existence in the year 1984. With the merger of Center for Education Technology and Department of Teaching Aids, it is one of the premier National Institute of Technology. The main aim is, as I said, to utilize the educational technology, promoting educational technologies, that is via radios, TVs, films, satellite communication, cyber media separately. The institute also undertakes the various activities to widen the opportunities to promote equity, quality, and the educational process at the school level. Fine. Now, question number 6, which I have been every day, I mean to say, whenever I take the topic of higher education, I keep on, revising this very well, because it comes in any form. Here it is coming as a direct question, but in many of the questions, indirectly it is linked. So which of the following are the goals of higher education in India? Whether it is access, equity, quality and excellence, relevance, value-based education, or compulsory and free education. So just put your concentration very well. Don't do any silly mistake and come to the answer very clearly. I'll repeat again, which of the following are the goals of higher education in India? So whether it is access, whether it is equity, whether it is quality, whether it is relevance, value-based education, or compulsory and free education. Okay, so waiting for the revert, everyone. Yes. As I said, again, I'm repeating, you can do this with the help of your elimination method also. You will definitely get the right answer. Okay. So yes, option number 3, that is access, equity, quality, no doubt in that. At the same time, relevance is also important, and value-based education. Now, higher education cannot be made, in fact, a compulsory and free education, because the costing, it's much more required. So that cannot be, the responsibility cannot be taken by the state or the central government. That's the reason compulsory and free education is not a goal of higher education. Okay, fine. So yes, now let's go to question number 7. Now, India has the largest higher education system in the world after which of the country? Whether it is the United States of America, whether it's Australia, whether it's China, whether it is United Kingdom. So they have, given the list of the countries, and you have to tell it according to the codes. It comes under after what? Whether it is US, whether it's Australia, whether it's China, whether it is United Kingdom. So let's see what is the right answer over here. So yes, basically, it is after all of them. So India is no doubt having the largest education system, but after Australia, China, United Kingdom, and as well as United States. So statistics questions may not come, but I may add a question so that you are aware of this. Tomorrow we'll be doing in the next class, that is whenever we have a next class on higher education, we will be focusing more on the statistics part of the question. Okay. Now, next is, which of the following investigated a common educational structure like 10+2+3 as a common core in the curricular program? So what exactly, or meant to say which of the following bodies are given? So which among them has, you know, NVSET, the structure, educational structure. Now that is nothing but the which has, you know, which has predicted or forecasted, you can say, the educational structure such as 10 plus 2 plus 3. So whether it is Sinha committee, whether it is All India Council of Technical Education, whether it is Kothari commission, or whether it is National Policy in Education 1986. So which among them has, you know, a part of, I mean, say, which has predicted or forecasted this particular educational structure? So you have option number A, B, C, and D. You have to tell me which is the right option. Okay, so let's see. Yes, the right option is the National Policy in Education, that is 1986. So if you remember, we have started a exclusively session on National Education Policy 2020 also, where I have completed all the aspects. So you have to, because National Education Policy, there will be definitely question. So you need to prepare that for that also. And we know out of 3 policies, the latest is 2020, and there can be definitely a question out of it. Okay. Yes. So now let's move ahead, everyone. Which scheme of Government of India was launched for the development of secondary education in public schools? We have done the same topic, but with a different question. As I told you that I will be coming up with a different set of questions. So they are talking about what? Secondary education. So the options given below are the Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. Next is the Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan. Then we have as the Global Initiative of Academic Network, or where next we have is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Okay. So which of them, okay, is called as the secondary education? I mean to say, which of the scheme is for the secondary education in public school? So you have to list, you know, the following. So Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, Global Initiative of Academic Network, or Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. So which among them stands to be right? Okay. And I hope 99% of the students should be right. 1% exceptional can be it's accepted, but students should be definitely right for this. Okay. So let's see. Yes. So the right answer is Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. So it is secondary, as I told you. Higher is handled by the Uchchatar Abhiyan. Secondary is handled by, you know, the Madhyamik Abhiyan, and the primary by Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Still, let's have a quick look at them. So Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, which was launched in 2009 for secondary education. Uchchatar Abhiyan was launched for higher education in 2013. Year also keep in mind, many a times they have came up with the topic, but years are missing. So they can come up with the years also. Global Initiative of Academic Network, that is for tapping the pool, for tapping the pool of scientists and entrepreneurs, especially to encourage the institutions in higher education in India. And we have Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which was launched in 2001, that is elementary. So 2001, 2009, and 2013. This is a sequence, and you know now properly what is the names also. Okay. Next. The objectives, let's quickly have a look of RUSA objectives. So RUSA basically Uchchatar Shikshan Abhiyan, that is, you know, higher education. They are, you know, they basically, it is talking about accessibility, equity, and quality in higher education. It is a centrally sponsored scheme, which is basically to improve the higher education in India. It also has a funding facility, that is ratio of 60-40 for the general category, and 90-10, that is for, you know, for the special category, and 100% for union territories. So this is how the sessions, I mean to say, this is how the this is how the bifurcation for the ratio or the allocation of the funds goes on. Now, next question. I have taken this question just as in revision. I just brought it back, but students were very confirmed. But still a quick revision, that what comes under the component of conventional education. So what is a form of conventional education? So whether it is, you know, learning from books, learning from teacher, learning from thinking, or learning through instructional material. So what of them is formed as, you know, as a part of conventional education? This should not take much time. In fact, we have done this very well. So this should be very quick and right, 100% right. So yes, let's check. It is definitely learning from teacher. Yes, the right answer is what? Learning from teacher. Then we have a little bit of information about, conventional education. In last class, we did not do that. So I thought I'll just quickly revise that also. So when we talk about conventional education, basically it is a traditional education, which is also known as with the name as back to basics, traditional education or customary education, which is used by the society traditionally in schools and colleges. It is also called as brick and mortar classroom facility, which refers to physical school, a virtual or cyber environment, and it has the following characteristics. So let's see at the characteristics also. It is a on-campus education with fixed time. It requires regular attendance. It has a prescribed curriculum. It emphasizes more on teaching rather than on learning, not on learning. It is teacher-centered method. It is through listening and observation. And yes, it is the assessment happens in a traditional way, that is in the form of written exams. Okay. Same time, we will have a look at the non-conventional learning also. So basically the education system in the learning, okay, is offered on the campus with a fixed time in the classroom. And that can be the part of evening learning or a distance educational, vocational studies, skill-based studies, or online learning, which has the characteristics as learners oriented, no fixed curriculum, cost effective, linked to employment, continuous, it is continuous, and it is for improvement of the quality. So the target groups of non-conventional education are employed, are unemployed youths, the dropouts, underprivileged group, women and girls. So as well as the tribal and minority population, this type of education is, for the literacy program. So this gets covered under non-conventional learning. Then we have a topic as Orientalism also, because we have Orientalism, convention and non-convention as a part of your syllabus. So let's have a quick look at that also. So the 18th century, that is when European scholars studied ancient languages and culture. It was to gain the richer understanding of the, historical and literal moments of combining of Middle Eastern studies as well as Asian studies. Oriental, that is the specialist in Oriental subjects, which embraces culture, people, language, as well as history and archaeology. The list of the institutes I have given, sometimes the question may come, but it should not. As such, once it was there. So I have this list. You can just go through this list later and, just keep it in mind. At least once in a week, you can revise this, okay, with the help of your screenshot. Now, next, which we have is, which of the following statements explains the concept of gross enrollment ratio? We always have checked gross enrollment ratio. That is with respect to higher education. The percentage we have checked. Latest update I'll check and I'll add into next class. Okay. So basically, how exactly it is formed, or concept-wise how it is explained. Total number of students divided by total population. Total number of students, enrolled students with a particular age divided by the population of age group. Total number of students divided by the total number of children not admitted to the institution, and total number of students not admitted to the institution divided by the total number of that age group. So what falls, what falls in place, or what does exactly the concept of, you can say, the concept of gross enrollment ratio tells. So yes, the right answer. The students are very much confirm about this topic because I've taken a great practice for this. So let's see. So yes, it is nothing but the total number of students which are enrolled of a particular age, which is divided by the total number of students of that age group. Now, I have not purposely brought the age group because in the next class, I'm going to add that as a question. So let me check how many of you can, you have remembered the concepts which we have done. Next. Which of the following supports the process of scientific development? So which type of education? So we have a list of education below. So among that, which supports the scientific development? Is it realistic? Is it ideal? Is it natural? Or is it none of the above? Which of them are a part of, scientific development? So it is realistic education. Is it ideal education? Is it natural education, or none of the above? So yes, the one which starts for scientific development, it is something called as realistic education. Okay, now, yes, as I said, one question I have taken out on vocationalization also. So let's understand the question and the answer. So the aim of vocationalization of education is what? That is preparing the students for the vocation, or converting the liberal education, giving importance to vocational education, and making liberal education job oriented. So what is it more, to say it is more based on, or what it is more, more about. So let's see. I'll repeat again the question for you. You can read options if you want, if you felt that if I have read it a little faster. The aim of vocationalization of education is basically what? Okay. So yes, the aim of the vocationalization of education is basically, for a job oriented. It is basically specifically focusing on job oriented. So yes, we have done that in the form of, skills development also. So just keep in mind vocationalization very well. Do not get confused. Okay. Next, the use of radio for higher education is based on the presumption of what? So when we talk about the radio as a mode of higher education or as a channel for higher education, what does it focuses on? Is it focuses on enriching the curriculum-based instruction? Is it replacing the teacher in the long run? Is it everybody having access to the radio set, or it is means of, instruction which are getting outdated? So what it can be? I'll repeat the question once again. Radio as a mode of higher education, but with a preassumption of what? What exactly is the preassumption when it comes to radio education? So yes, the options are given to you. You again here, some options stands for, elimination. You can eliminate it and come to the rest. So yes, enriching the curriculum, known as such, not, very confirmed. Replacing teacher, not possible out at all. Other means of instruction, no. Everybody is having access to the radio set, and that was the only presumption through which radio education was, supported. Now see, this is, we have, I think the slide little bit got misplaced, but yes, I was talking when I told about vocationalization and skill education. Basically, I wanted to tell you this, that vocational education is also called as a career or technical education, which prepares learners for the job as well as practical activities, non-academic, specific related to the trade, occupation, or a vocation. It's sometimes referred to a technical education, which is as a learner directly develops, the expertise in a particular group of techniques or technology. So vocational education is a skill-based education where learners get through, practical and academic skills, and it is basically fully, with an intention of job orientation. Examples of the skills and the vocational education are as below. So it is, IITs, you can have Pradhan Mantri Kaushalya Vikas Yojana schemes, Sankalpa, that is skill acquisition and knowledge awareness. We have Udaan Polytechnic Services. We also have, promote vocational education in schools and higher education. So this all comes under what? This all comes under the vocational education. Yes, and here comes the last question for the day. So let's understand the report of which of the following education commission carries the subtitle as National Education for National Development. So this reports and commissions, I'm bringing it again and again so that you get a chance to revise and you are, aware about it a lot. So it will help you in a very great manner. So the report of the following education commission, which carries the subtitle as, Education for National Development. So whether what among the following is the right one? We have done this yesterday, day before yesterday also. Radhakrishnan committee, we have the commission, Kothari commission, Calcutta University, as well as Mudaliar. So you should be able to remember. I have told you specifically, go to my theory class. There is an exclusive lecture on this commissions also. You should definitely revise it. So yes, the report which is subtitle is called as Kothari Commission. So it comes under what? It comes under Kothari Commission. I want all the students to put your scores very well so that I can get a chance to put my next class questions, wherein I don't want to go for revision, some fresh set of questions, which again will help you with the statistics. So which is very important for the upcoming examination. So do put your scores without fail so that I get an idea what exactly, what type of questions I need to come prepared with. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good day ahead.